Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's lesson, we will discuss about mainly conservation of energy. Okay, conservation of energy. We will deal mainly with three topics. They are principle of conservation of energy. Now, proof of it using a free falling body. We will take an example of free falling body and we will try to prove the principle of conservation from it. Also, we will see the application of this principle in a simple pendulum. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Let us try to understand what is principle of conservation of energy. So, I have written on the screen the principle. See, according to this principle of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. It can only change form from one to another. So, in simple language, it means that you cannot make energy, you cannot create it, neither you can destroy it. All you can do is you can change from one form to another. See, in universe, energy occurs in various forms. The sum of all forms of energy in the universe always remains constant. All forms of energy, you may think about heat energy, light energy, electrical energy, chemical energy, etc. The sum total of all this energy is always going to remain constant. Whatever it was there in the beginning, it will remain in the end. You cannot change this. This is always constant. When there is transformation of energy from one form to another, then also your total energy always remain constant. For example, if there is change in the form of energy, like take example of bulb. Okay, I am giving you this example to show you one example with transformation of energy. Say you want to light this bulb, your input is electrical energy here, and the output which you get here is heat energy plus light energy. Okay, now whatever was total electrical energy here, if you add up the total of heat and light energy on this side, both will remain equal, because this will also obey your principle of conservation of energy, right? Now, if there is only an interchange between the potential energy and kinetic energy, the total mechanical energy remains constant. It means your kinetic energy plus potential energy remains constant when there is no loss of energy. Okay, when there is no loss of energy, it can be in the form of say frictional forces, okay, or heat energy. Now let us try to prove this principle of conservation of energy using a free falling body. We are going to prove it, or you can say we are going to verify it. You can even say we are going to verify principle of conservation of energy. Okay, so let us see. Let this be my ground level. I am dropping a body from certain height. Say this height is h. I will drop this body. This is a free falling body. I will drop this body to ground, say from position A to position C. I will drop this body. Okay, so it is a free fall. Now let me take some arbitrary position here in between. Let this point be B. What I will do here is I will find total energy at A, total energy at B, and total energy at C during the free fall, and I will see that the total energy, that is potential energy and kinetic energy, the sum total of potential energy and kinetic energy is remaining constant. Okay, so let us proceed. First we will calculate potential energy at the point A. Now see, I am writing here At point A, potential energy will be how much? Acha, I forgot to mention, let this body be of mass m, okay, and let g be the acceleration due to gravity and h is my height. So at position A, my potential energy will be mgh, okay, and what will be my kinetic energy? It will be half mv square. Now see, I am dropping the body from A only. I am dropping it, I am not throwing it, I am simply dropping it. So my initial velocity is 0, so kinetic energy is also 0. So my total energy, which is sum total of potential and kinetic energy, is mgh after addition. Now let me do the same calculation for point B. Okay, now let this point B be at a distance of x from top. Okay, so naturally from ground the distance will be h minus x. Let us keep it handy so that we can use it. So at point B, my potential energy, let me write here, at point B. Yes, we were calculating the total energy at point B. So let us first calculate potential energy. Mg into height. Height of point B is h minus x, and kinetic energy will be half m velocity square. Let velocity at point B be v1. Okay, so I am writing v1 square, half m v1 square. Now we have to find how much is this v1. See here, when the body was at point A, its velocity was 0 because it was a free fall case. Okay, it was a free fall case. We just dropped the body, so at point A your velocity is 0, and at point B I am saying velocity is v1. Now we will apply this formula. V square is equal to u square plus 2as. See here, my final velocity between A and B I am calculating. My final velocity is v1 square, initial is 0, plus 2, in place of A I will write g. In fact my A is equal to plus g, acceleration is plus g because the body is falling down, and my displacement A to B is x. Let me write here A to B, I am doing this calculation. So see here, how much is my v1 square? v1 square is coming out to be 2gx. So I will substitute here half m 2gx. So I am getting mgx. Now let us calculate total energy, potential plus kinetic. Potential was mgh minus x, kinetic came out to be mgx. When I add this I am getting mgh. So if you remember, even at point A, my let me write this E instead of K. Just a minute, let me erase it. This is my total energy actually. So you must remember that at point A also my total energy was mgh, at point B also it is mgh. Now we will do similar calculation for point C. Now let us proceed to calculate total energy at point C. C is at my ground level. So see here, my potential energy is going to be 0, mgh, h is 0 because C is at ground level. So potential energy is 0. Kinetic energy is half m velocity square. Now again we don't know the velocity at the point C, so let the velocity be v2. Now I will take A as my initial point and C as my final point. So I am calculating velocity at point C. Once again I will use the formula v square is equal to u square plus 2as. This time my final velocity is v2. Initial velocity at A was 0 plus 2g. Again my A is plus g, and my s, this time my displacement is h. So in place of v2 square I will substitute 2gh, and we see here that I am getting mgh. So my total energy is potential plus kinetic 0 plus mgh. So ultimately again I got mgh. So once again the total energy came out to be mgh. So at all the 3 points, whether it is A, B or C, my total energy is always remaining constant. So this is proving the principle of conservation of energy. But remember one thing, we are neglecting the loss of energy due to friction. Over here there can be friction, due to air only there can be friction, we are avoiding it. Okay. Now students, as you are viewing my channel, as you are going through this lecture, and if you are enjoying it, more important is if you are understanding it, then please share with your friends also. Share it as much as possible, because it will help some other student also over there. Alright, this is an act of kindness. So share this video, share this lecture as much as possible, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, so that in future whenever there is a new video you will get a notification. Now that we have seen how potential and kinetic energy is different in different height from the ground level for a freely falling body, so we are going to now plot it in a graph. So as you can see in this graph, along the x-axis I am plotting height above the ground. Let me write here, height above the ground. So as you are going this way, the height is increasing, and if you remember the diagram also, my point C was the ground level and point A was the highest level. Again, along y-axis I am plotting energy. Okay, and I have already marked here, this is my maximum energy, mgh. Now if you remember, at point C my potential energy, let us first try to plot potential energy. At point C potential energy was minimum, so the value is here. Okay, and at point A the potential energy was maximum. So see here, at point A it was maximum. Okay, so potential energy is increasing in this way. As you are rising in height, your potential energy is going on increasing. So that is the graph of your potential energy. Now wait a minute, I will have to erase this extra part. Why? Because here I have shown that my total maximum energy is mgh, it cannot overshoot mgh, so I have to stop here. Okay, now let us plot kinetic energy. Now see, once again at point C we saw that kinetic energy was maximum at point C and it was mgh, so the point is here. And at point A my kinetic energy was 0. Why? Because we have just dropped the body from there. So the variation of kinetic energy is something like this. Okay, so this is the graph for your potential energy, this is the graph of your kinetic energy. Alright, if you go somewhere in between this C and A, exactly in between, say if you remember, the distance from C to A was your height h. If you go at somewhere midpoint, say over here h by 2, at height h by 2, you will see here that the value which you are getting is mgh by 2, means at exact halfway, at height h by 2, your potential energy is equal to kinetic energy, which is equal to mgh by 2. This is evident from this point of intersection of the graph. At exactly halfway, I am repeating, at exactly halfway h by 2, your potential and kinetic energy was equal, and it is mgh by 2. Now in this example we will try to understand the application of principle of conservation of energy, and we have taken example of a simple pendulum. Now see here, when the pendulum is at rest, when it is at point A at its mean position, in this case it is at rest, and we are considering this as the ground level. Okay, so potential energy is 0 and kinetic energy is also 0 at point A. Why? Because see, I have taken this as the reference level. Height is 0, so potential energy is 0, and this bob is at rest, so kinetic energy is also 0. Okay, now slightly when I displace this pendulum, say I displace it and the pendulum reaches this point B, and say at point B it is raised to height h. Now very well you know now that it will have potential energy mgh, and this is the extreme position. It will not overshoot this position, it will remain here. Okay, so it will remain here for some fraction of time, and again it will retrace its path. Okay, so you can see that at point B your velocity is 0, so kinetic energy is 0 here. So the total energy in this case is again U plus K, which is equal to mgh. Remember it. Again, when it comes to point A, the whole amount of this potential energy will change to kinetic energy, and your potential energy will be 0. So once again your total energy will be mgh. Alright, now again when it will overshoot to C, when it will go to point C, again it will rise to height h. So now your kinetic energy mgh will convert to potential energy mgh, and again your kinetic energy will be 0. Why? Because the bob will start returning from this point. C is one of the extreme position, so it will start returning from the point. So here also your total energy is mgh. So here also we see that at all points, no matter whichever point you choose, at all points your total energy is always remaining constant. And one thing you should remember here, we are neglecting air friction. Okay, we are taking an ideal case. We are saying that there is no loss of energy. This can happen only in vacuum. You know, in vacuum, if you are going to disturb a pendulum, it will go on swinging forever because they will never lose energy. But in reality, what will happen, we all know. Say if you have this pendulum, okay, it will go, it will come back, it will go, it will come back, this to and fro motion, and ultimately it will come to rest. This is due to loss of energy against the air friction. Alright, so the amplitude will go on decreasing, as you can see here in this diagram. The amplitude will go on decreasing, and ultimately it will come to rest.